Pouse around the house. Today we're looking at part 18 in my series of loft conversion videos. We're going to be fixing some battens to the cheeks of the dormer, we're going to be fitting some lead soakers to the cheeks of the dormer, and we're going to be slating up to the hip of the roof. So it's been a few days since I've been on the roof, and now we're back. We've got Pouse who's just doing a few of the fascias, and I'm just going to do a couple of the counter battens on the cheeks of the dormer. Because what we decided to do is counter battens, so we're going to have vertical battens and then screw the horizontal battens onto that. Because what that means is that if you get any water ingress at all, it allows the water to freely flow down to the bottom. If you just put horizontal battens straight onto OSB board, it's not like the draped felt over rafters where you've got those slight gaps underneath the battens so the moisture can go through. It will actually just sit on top of the battens, and over a long period of time this could cause rot, so just best to do the counter battens, and then you know it's belt and braces. Obviously when you do this, don't forget to allow your gap on your overhang, which we've already done, up there on the top, because you've got to allow for the extra spacing of your slates and the extra batten. So you've got one batten is 25mm wide, so you've got that times 2, 50mm. Then you've got to add the depth of your slates, which is roughly about 10mm. So just so you can see what we're doing here, we're just putting some diagonals along there so that we can fix the corner slates on, because obviously when they come to a thin point sometimes there's not much to fix them to. Obviously the alternative thing to do here is use a slate and a half instead, and it's a bit of a combination. If you come up here, we got a fascia board temporarily fixed in place. We're going to need to take that back off. We'll probably have to trim the edge once the slates are on. If you look down here, we've got our vertical battens that you saw being done earlier, or counter battens, and then we're going to put our horizontal ones across there to actually fix the slates. Same here, just the verticals for now. I'll do the horizontals while I'm tiling, just so I make sure I get the right spacings up the wall. And then if we come over to this side, we've got exactly the same. We've got our verticals, we've got the fascia board cut as well. That's down on the floor. We had it on just now. I've just taken it back off again for the moment, just so I can get access, because obviously if you put this fascia on, you can't get your driver up there or a hammer and whatnot. So you can see on this side, old Pouse has already done the diagonals here. They were done previously. And you can see this batten that we put along the bottom. And that there is just so when we put our lead soakers on the cheeks here, you've got something solid to turn them up against. And then our slates can come down and again have something solid for the last slate to sit on there. And then again we're going to do our horizontal batten spacings along there as we go. This again, I've actually put a batten on the end here, and then I've done another one and overlapped it, so you've got this nice 90-degree angle. And then just because this one was slightly overlapping this batten, to make it stronger, I put another one by there. So with the slates, I'm going to try and start with full slates from this point outwards on the cheek of the dormer, and do the same on the other side. That means we start with nice full slates off the cheeks, making it nice and easy. We can do the lead soakers as we go along. Because what we'll do is work inwards with the slates across the front then. And then when we get to the middle, when we see one where obviously either the gap's too small or too big, we'll cut down a double slate or slate and a half to fit. So if you look carefully from a distance, you'll obviously see the one slate is slightly different, but that is the most sensible way to do this. So what I've done here is I'm doing my first row of slates, so I've just cut down my first one. Again, that'll sit somewhere like that. I want it just back off this felt support tray. Then the next one here, this is made out of the other bit of this slate. If you flip it round, it fits perfectly. So this one's going to go on top like that, and then you can put your full slate on top of that. Now obviously down by the cheek of the dormer, I'm not going to get a full slate in below there, so it'll be 3 shorter slates, all slightly longer than the other, but then when it comes out off the cheek of the dormer, we can come back into a full length slate. I'm tired of keeping your secrets, I'm tired of scared, but I don't want to let you down. I turned around and I walked away. So just a quick overview of what's been done today. We've had proper Pouse on the fascia boards. So again, he's done this one along there, the matching one on the other side, this one up there, and that one down there on the front. Now they are permanently fixed there, but this one along here, just like these ones that he's done here on the other dormer, are both just temporarily fixed with one screw, because I'm going to need to remove those to get up inside to slate up to the top there. But they're cut and ready to go. We've got this fascia on as well now, so that's complete, so we can slate up and over the top of that like we've done on the other side. On this hip we've matched like the other one, and again Pouse popped these battens in between here, so now we've got a secure fixing for the diagonals, because they do tend to cut down to something quite small and you need something to fix the slate to. Obviously on certain ones where we have a problem we'll just use the double slates. Something else I wanted to show you was just under this felt here. Now I got proper Pouse on the case here again. Now this timber on the hip that came all the way down here, on one of the old ridge tiles near the end, a few of them actually, where they had cracks in them, water had obviously just been trickling in here for years. You can see there where there was a bit of rot, so he's cut out the rotten timber. We've actually used one of the old rafters for this, because this old timber is so much tougher than the new stuff you buy, it's unbelievable. But anyway, so he's cut one of those out, slotted that into place, and now we can secure this fascia here onto it when we're ready to fix it all up. Again, this one's got to come off when I slate this section of roof. So now we've got a nice secure fix in there, because we need to put the hooks on there that come out like that, and they hold your ridge tiles in place and stop them falling down this way. Obviously each one will have a mechanical fixing, i.e. a nail or a screw anyway, as well as a bed and mortar, but I need that to screw on the end, and it's no good if I got a rotten bit of timber, I got nothing for it to go into. And then coming on to this side of the roof, I've been doing the vertical battens today. I've been a bit slow today because I've been trying to work out what I want to do, how to do it. So that's it for today, time to close the hatch up. Hopefully if we get some dry weather I can book another day from work and we'll get back on the roof. Right, so it's another day, we're back on the roof. I've come back up with a fresh pair of eyes, and I've noticed that I need to put one more row of slates in front of the dormer. And unfortunately, the way these batten spacings are, because I'm not getting a full length slate in front of the dormer, I now don't have enough room to nail them in. So I've got to remove a few slates off there. I'm going to put in another batten between those two, just to give me another fix in for the additional slate. I'll only have to do that across the front of the dormer, and then when I come out the other side we're back to the normal spacings like this again. So I'm just going to place this lead soaker onto this slate, and I'm going to nail it in using my 30mm copper roofing nail. And using my lead dresser I'm just going to tap it into the batten. Now on the bottom corners of a dormer you can buy pre-welded lead parts, which will be a nice square piece. They're a bit easier to fit, they go straight on. Now I'm just making my own setup here. Now it's up to you, but this obviously takes a bit longer. So what I'm going to do is use this piece of lead that I've literally just tacked on with a nail, and it's just in an L shape like that. I'm just going to push that up there, like that. Then using my lead dressing tool, I'm just going to tap this around that piece of lead. If you look here, I've got a copper disc rivet sticking through this slate because I pre-drilled it. And the reason for this is I'm going to put a slate and a half over this. So all the way up my cheeks I don't want any half slates, they're going to be full slates and slate and a half. I turned around and I walked away. You're there in pieces breaking down again. You turned to me and I said to you, very last soaker, this is right at the top under the overhang. So what I've done is made the same size soaker again. I've wedged it up, had a little look, and I've just sort of bent this underneath the rafters like that. So basically if any water with the wind gets blown up, it'll just sort of turn back into itself and run down. Let's not forget this last soaker is actually going to be behind my soffits anyway. So there we go, that's all the soakers in place. If you look at the top, it's a bit dark, but you can see that piece that goes up, and I've just turned the top over so that any moisture that does make it up there will just run back down into the soaker and down. I showed you this in a previous video, but when you come up to the hips, if you end up with too much of a small piece, you don't have necessarily the batten to attach it to. Although we've put these corner bits there, it gets a bit tricky, so then you're better off using your double slate and cutting it down to size. And you can see on this row here that we've done the same. So the end slates are a little bit longer, it just gives you that secure attachment and somewhere to put the holes through for your copper disc rivets, just so you can secure it to the slates above. If you just had these small bits, you'd end up with one dodgy nail hole, if you're lucky, flapping round. Worst case scenario, you put them on, you get to the end and realise there's no fixing for the slate to go into. So there we go, that's this hip complete. All the way up the edge we've had to use the double slates cut down to size. That way we're able to secure them twice with the disc rivets and with nails along the sides where need be on the smaller thinner bits. Going right the way up there, you can see up beyond the lead soakers, and we've just had to trim it off there at the last rafter, and is what I'll do eventually is put some lead down off one of the rafters and overhang it out that way just to stop any ingress of water there. But in reality we're going to have fascia boards down here, soffit boards underneath, so all that bit is going to be covered out of the way of any exposure anyway. There we go, lead soakers in the corner of the hip done, and now I can copy that on the other side. So that's it for today's video, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, feel free to subscribe and press the bell symbol for regular notifications. So for more DIY, how-to, household tips and product review, please watch my other videos and don't forget to subscribe. I've been Pouse around the house. Ta-ta, farewell.